Hello, this is the Meta Man. Facebook bought Sandbox. No. That wasn't yesterday's headline or today's headline. That's going to be tomorrow's headline. I am forecasting it. The MetaMan has made a forecast. The MetaMan has put a line in the sand and said, this is going to happen.
The MetaMan rocks!
Why? Because you've already heard that Mark Zuckerberg has announced that not only is he intent on capturing the metaverse, but he's actually changing the name of Facebook to Meta. And one of the ways to do it is to build a metaverse, which he's planning to do. Another way to do it is to buy a metaverse. Now, when I started this channel, November 1st of 2021, it's only a few months old now, Axie Infinity was the #1 coin in the metaverse. If you go, I click on coingecko.com, and then I click right here on coins and scroll down to categories. And then here are all the different categories of coins that coingecko.com recognizes. And down here at 25 is the metaverse. You can see there are 76 coins in the metaverse. When I started this channel on November 1st of 2021, just a few months ago, there were 41. Now there's 76. It has almost doubled in just a few months. And if we look at the biggest players in it, you can see the biggest player is number 34 overall, Decentraland Mana, and 37th overall, right behind it, is the Sandbox, whose call letters are Sand. And Axie Infinity, which used to be by far #1, has fallen badly to #3. So if you were Facebook and you wanted to dominate the metaverse by building a metaverse, wouldn't you also want to buy a metaverse? You know what? I actually have an entire playlist on Sandbox. If you just go right there, you can play lots of videos about my beloved Sandbox. I just want to make sure that you know our relationship. The relationship is this. I spend my intellect and my time and my hours researching and producing great, valuable videos for you to educate you and to entertain you. And you can use it as input to your thinking process in order to make wise investments on your own. But these videos are just for entertainment and education. That's what I do for you. What do you do for me? You know what it is. You subscribe to this channel and you like this video, and you comment below on whether you think Facebook actually is going to buy Sandbox, or whether it's a good idea that it does, or if you owned Sandbox shares, would you, and if you owned Sandbox coins, would you sell them to Mr. Mark Zuckerberg if he wanted to buy them from you, even at a big profit? And you also share this video with other people who might be interested in it. That's our deal. I'll do my part, you do your part. You know, go ahead. You know what to do. And jet propel yourself forward. How much would it cost? Well, Mark Zuckerberg has announced that he is prepared to spend billions of dollars a year, and he likely means tens of billions, because he has hundreds of billions of dollars in his Facebook savings account. Oops, I should say Meta's savings account. How much would it cost to buy Sandbox? Well, unlike the stock market that is highly regulated and someone can actually buy a public stock by making an announcement and making an offering to all the shareholders, and if a certain percent of the shareholders say yes, then the rest have to sell. There's rules, but there's no rules in the wild west of crypto. But let's just see what it would cost. Well, on the screen now, you can see the maximum lifetime of the Sandbox. It started in August 13th of the year 2020, and it's now February 17th of 2022. So it's less than 2 years old. It'll take till August 2022. Yeah, it's a year and a half old. It's a year and a half old. It's not that old. But the important thing is the market cap. Look at the top right where it says market cap. That market cap is $4 billion. How long would it take Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, using all the power of Facebook, to build out a highly exciting, beautiful, intriguing, interesting metaverse that people will want to go to? And it might cost him $4 billion. Well, for $4 billion, you might as well buy it and have a proven commodity, one that has really interesting avatars, and it has an NFT for the avatars, and it has really interesting games, and there's lots of developers on it that are creating more games and more avatars and more weapons and more fun and more NFTs and more avatars. And there's more developers coming and producing even more stuff. And there's land, 155,000 pieces of land have already been purchased. And Snoop Dogg has already purchased one and built a huge mansion on it, and already had an open, welcome, what do you call it? A welcome home party, an open house, yes. When you buy a new house, you have an open house party. And he already had one, and someone has already spent over $2 million buying the parcel of land right beside Snoop Dogg's. There's already all this excitement. It might take Mr. Mark Zuckerberg years to build a metaverse, and it may never be as exciting as Sandbox. He can just sign a check and just own it. Now, you can't go to some regulatory authority and make an offer and have the coin owners be forced to sell. So what he would have to do is he would have to look at the price. Today, the price is $3.77. He would have to peg it at, let's say, $5 and make a giant announcement that anyone who would like to sell at $5 is a limited time. And lots of people who know that their coin is worth $3.77 would quite eagerly agree to sell. And maybe he won't get all of the coins, but he might get most of them, which means he would dominate it. He would be on the board of directors and he could control it. And it would no longer be decentralized, but it would still be the sandbox. It would no longer be as loved, but it would still be the sandbox. Would people forget that it's now centralized and not decentralized? Would people forget? Well, there's a couple other issues that I want you to know. Facebook may not be the only suitor. How about Amazon? You might say, Amazon, don't they just move boxes around the world? Yes, but they also got into video streaming to compete with Netflix. Maybe they're going to get into the metaverse. And how about Microsoft? Microsoft has been rattling its swords for the last few months saying they're going to get in, they're going to get in, they're going to get in. Well, one great way to skyrocket in is to buy in. Now, they could also buy Decentraland or Mana, but for some reason, even though Decentraland is higher in market cap ranking, even though its market cap is larger, somehow Sandbox is more loved. Anyways, there's two others that I want you to think about. Maybe Apple will buy it. And here I'm going to make an announcement, a prediction. Apple won't buy it. Apple's method of operation is they wait around. They let other people be the first movers. They just wait around. They see who makes mistakes. They see who does things well. And then they create a brilliant new idea and they come out late. Remember that Nokia and BlackBerry completely owned the cell phone market. And then Apple came in 10 years later, destroyed them and everybody else, and is now the dominant player. So I do not think that Apple is going to buy Sandbox. I think they're going to come out in a year or two with their own concept. But how about Twitter? You might say, Twitter, where'd that come from? Twitter has a lot of money in its bank account. And one way to expand is to expand into the metaverse. And so there you have it. The metaverse is predicted to be worth in 2023, that's just a year from now, 1.7 trillion, $1.7 trillion. That's $1,700 billion. When you think of the total market cap of the metaverse as $1,700 billion, then buying Sandbox for a measly little $4 billion doesn't sound like a lot of money any longer. Wow, wow, wow. In the comments, what I want you to do is type, do you think that Facebook will buy Sandbox? Or do you think that it's a good idea for Facebook to buy Sandbox? And if you own Sandbox and Mark Zuckerberg made an announcement that he's going to buy your coins at higher than the current price, would you sell? Or would you want wonderful Sandbox to stay decentralized? These are very important issues. The crypto market is young and the metaverse is even younger. Do you want it to stay decentralized? These are important issues. Put your messages into the comment section so that, and by the way, I reply to every one of them. And also, you know that you're supposed to hit that subscribe button, and you're supposed to like these videos, so please do that. And I've got one lovely, critically wonderful thing to tell you from my heart. You are now far wiser than you were just 10 minutes ago. Please click on Meta in order to subscribe to my channel. And please click on this video, which is my most recent video, my previous one. And please click on that video, which Google and YouTube think is the most appropriate if you enjoyed this video.